At Hooters, you can watch the tournament with your buddies. All your buddies. Like the ones with ice-cold beer. And one-of-a-kind wings that are nothing but net. You know, buddies you won't have to fight for the remote. Buddies who know a thing or two about basketball. And the fans who live for it.
Where else are you gonna get all this?
Hooters, your official hangout for game day.
Yo, what up? This your boy Kenneth Stones, aka Coffee Weaston.
This your boy DOE Good Brother Bowl.
And we are the Dirty Hills. You already know, man, you tuning in to 11:30 podcast. Mm-hmm. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Dude, that's my job. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Yeah. And you have been Dirty Hills approved.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. This is episode 81 of the 11:30 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. What's goody, everybody doing out there? It is Friday, you guys. I'm back at it here on the podcast, man, for some wrestle chat, man, some wrestle talk. For real, good morning, good night, good afternoon to all my listeners all across the world, wherever you at. Canada, Mexico, Germany, the States, DC, Jersey, wherever you may be at. Cleveland. Thank you guys so much, man, for tuning back in here to Talk Pro Wrestling. If you listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or even on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Yes, like it, leave a comment, and do all that great stuff. And don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, I'm back at it. Had to take a week off, man, and of course, last week was the holidays. It was Thanksgiving. I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays and Thanksgiving. I hope you guys ate enough turkey. I hope you guys ain't eating that no more, but man, it's been a blessed one. I'm back at it, man. I got an amazing guest here on Talk Pro Wrestling episode 81, man, for real. Thank everyone, man. We got the 5.2 thousand downloads. I thank everyone, for real. But yeah, amazing guest, you guys, that's going to be joining me here on the podcast. His name is Arthur McArthur. He's the strongest man in the land, you guys. He's wrestles for Absolute Intense Wrestling and Ruthless Pro Wrestling, just to name a few, man. He's going to be joining me here in just a bit. Yes, in just a bit. Right now, actually, he's about to be joining me right now. To chat some pro wrestling, man, and just, chat with my guy, Arthur McArthur. So let's get into the show. We ain't gonna waste no time. It's Friday, man. Arthur McArthur, how's it going, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? Sorry for the not the most ideal setup here. I told you I'd be on a certain time, and work just kind of held me back a little bit, but I'm making it work for you, man.
Hey, man, it's all cool. It's all cool. I understand, man. Life happens and things, happen when people get held up, though. But it's all cool. How life treating you, though?
Life's treating me really well, man. Things are kind of on the upswing. We just had our past weekend with AIW, Hell on Earth. Had a really great match with To Infinity Beyond with my partner, Chuck Stone, Bulking Season. If you haven't checked it out already, go ahead and do that now on IWTV, AIW. And, the following day we had a match with Ruthless Professional Wrestling, RPW, which is kind of based in Toledo. Had a great match with Hoodfoot and Casanova Valentine. That'll be on IWTV soon as well. But yeah, man, life's been treating me pretty well.
Hey, man, that's good. That's good. You got a whole lot of events lined up for you, and you've been killing it on the independent scene, man. This is your first time, of course, here on the 11:30 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. For all my listeners and viewers who are joining me this week, can you tell them a little something, something about Arthur McArthur?
So what can I tell them about me? Well, for those who have never seen me work before, when I'm in the zone, in character, I'm like your vintage circus strongman type of guy, Maybe I'm killing the character gimmick right now, just, being myself, but I feel like that's the best way to connect with some of y'all. But yeah, you can catch me a lot in AIW. That's my home promotion in Cleveland. That's just a little bit about me. I'm based out of Cleveland, Ohio. I think you're out of DC.
Yeah, DC.
Yeah, I haven't been in that area yet, but I've been there, just not for wrestling.
Okay. I know it's cold there right now.
It is very cold. It was just snowing really bad the other day. I'm not ready for it.
Okay. Hey, that's what's up. But how long you got in? How long you been in the wrestling business?
I'm gonna hit my 3-year anniversary coming up in March. Yeah, March. Yeah, it'll be my third year in the business. I debuted back in. I had my first ever match March of 2019, and been loving it ever since, dude.
Okay. What ultimately led you to getting in the ring? Wanted to lace your boots up.
Well, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I had to keep moving my phone back and forth. So basically, it was always a passion of mine, wrestling, growing up and watching it. The WWF. I grew up in the Attitude Era with the likes of Stone Cold, The Rock, you name it. I loved the games growing up as well. It was that little passion of mine on the side, and I would always daydream. What if that could be me? What if I could be a wrestler? Everyone's always saying it's like it's a far stretch, but I made it happen. There was a great school over here in Cleveland, the AIW Academy. Our head trainer Dom Guarini, really set me on the right path.
Okay, that's what's up. That's about around the time that I kind of like got into wrestling, the Attitude Era. That was like the favorite, most memorable time of being a wrestling fan. Though you say you just started your third year is coming up though. But what led you? So it was just a spirit of moment. You just was like, yo, I'm gonna be a wrestler.
That's a funny story because before I got into wrestling, I had done much different ventures in life. I had originally been in the military, served 4 years with the Army. I was stationed overseas, did all of that. And, it just wasn't my life. I didn't enjoy it. And I wanted to, pursue something that would make me happy, like a dream per se. And, I still had professional wrestling on the horizon. So, I looked for schools and I seen AIW had a school. Johnny Gargano used to be the head trainer. And I thought to myself, this must be the place to go. I'm seeing all these guys who've been to the school, been through AIW, make it big. There's guys who've gotten tryouts, getting looked at. And like I said, that was just kind of, I thought AIW was the place that would get me where I would want to be. And as far as right now, I'm definitely where I want to be and moving forward. So definitely was the right decision.
Hey, that's what's up. You gotta follow, your dream and your goal and what you wanna, accomplish in life, But that's really dope though. What been some challenges though, since you're becoming a wrestler? What's some challenges you have dealt with while pursuing you being a wrestler?
So obviously I'm a little bit of a bigger guy, so you're not going to see me doing the super high flying maneuvers and whatnot, or running super high paced cardio matches per se. That was a challenge, and I had to find a way to work around my weaknesses of that and to still put on a great performance and be someone worth booking in the future. So I had developed this character. It can go either way, whether it's hilarious or it's just it's unique. And with that challenge that comes who's going to book the character based guy. And that's another thing. So I really had to work on my craft because, as of late, I haven't really been as, I don't want to say comical, but I haven't really been as character based. I've been getting a lot more serious. And I feel like doing that is helping me grow as a performer. Yeah, just ran over some. Yeah, like the challenges of that, it's just to find a way to stand out. And I believe I have for the most part.
Yeah, you definitely have been. That's why, man, I definitely hit you up to be on the podcast, man. I definitely love the work. You got some guys who are big men in the wrestling. The wrestling game has definitely changed, though. What's your thoughts on the wrestling business as a whole now? That you see a lot of smaller guys coming up and dominating the wrestling business, as if maybe 20 years ago you've seen a lot of big strong guys.
Right.
Mainly on top and stuff.
Right. So I see this all the time from certain people. They think that, wrestling has gotten worse or something because there's a lot of small guys. And I think quite the contrary. Obviously that you want, your performers to be larger than life, look different from the average public. But at the same time, there's certain things that a very big man can't do. Like, for example, like all these high flying like luchadors, like hell, even guys like Rey Mysterio. You know, you're not going to see someone like Hulk Hogan busting out a 619 or Hurricane Rana, a Poison Rana, you name it. You know, these guys with the smaller size, it's kind of given hope to some of those who were told that maybe they weren't good enough to be in the business. And you know, there's so much to offer, you know, nowadays. And you kind of asked how like the business is going. I think there's so much more opportunity for people now. You don't have to be 6 foot forever. You don't have to be 250 pounds. You don't have to be super duper strong. You could, like I said, I had weaknesses I had to work around. Mm-hmm. So obviously wrestling's not for everybody, I would say, you know, as a mental thing, but there's definitely more of an opportunity if you want it.
Yeah, definitely opportunity if you want it. What's some goals that you were trying to reach or would like to accomplish in wrestling?
Goals and I'm pretty well traveled. I think I'm up to like 8 or 9 states by now. I don't know if necessarily number of states is like a true testament to how you are as a performer, but obviously one of my goals is to be wrestling internationally. Love to, you know, now that the borders are starting to slightly open up after COVID, I'd love to go to Canada. Love to go to Europe and wrestle sometime. Obviously, I'd love to sign the dotted line for a company someday. You know, we're working on that little by little. Just kind of my goals is to kind of reach the, you know, as high as I can go till I can't do anymore.
Hey, that's what's up. You know, I got big hopes for you. You know, especially, you know, as an independent, you know, wrestler, especially over, you know, the past years or, you know, decades or whatever, guys who work hard just to reach the big leagues or mainly the WWE, and per se that's not the goal anymore. And I want to say, man, whatever you do and whatever you continue to do in wrestling, keep striving at it, man, and, you know, build your character up and, you know, keep telling stories, man. And I think that's what, you know, people is going to come to you and attract you, because wrestling is all about storytelling, man. For real, it's definitely about storytelling. What keeps you inspired?
Keeps me inspired, I guess, well, let me think. Well, what does keep me inspired? Well, for one, I love seeing the passion that our fans have, you know, especially up in AIW. You know, there was a time when I had gotten hurt, and obviously, you know, when that happened, that sucked because I was out for like a month or two, and people were really getting behind me, you know, wishing me well. And I thought, you know, this is great. You know, it's good to have the support. People are desiring me to come back and do this, you know. And, you know, there's obviously some people who I wouldn't say look up to me or nothing, but those who are really, you know, enamored by what I do, what me and Chuck Stone do as a tag team. And, you know, I got to keep on for them, you know, especially my family. You know, I go to these family reunions and people are telling me they're watching all my stuff and I had no idea. So I guess just got to keep on for the people who are here since day one, man.
Hey, you're right. You are definitely right. You know, support is real important, especially when you know, trying to start, you know, at the bottom of something, and when you definitely, you know, have a passion for something, you know, especially when, you know, me with podcasting, it definitely blows my mind when I hear someone who I definitely wouldn't think would be listening or watching the podcast. So that's what it's all about, man. Definitely keeping on support. On a free day of Arthur McArthur, would you dip and dab into?
Well, a free day. What even is a free day in my life these days? Well, obviously, I just got off work. I started a new job doing that, you know, to support myself when I'm not wrestling. But love to go to the gym and get a workout in. You know, I'm about to head to the ring and do some ring training here in a little bit. As far as anything else is free time. If I have absolutely nothing going on, and there's a show, I might, you know, make my way over there, help out, you know, get out there, network. I love to game. I got my PS5s on standby at home. I love to have a good time with the friends as well. You know, I try to keep my life as pie-charted as possible, because you can't just overwhelm yourself with wrestling. You gotta, you know, find the good things in life.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I took a break last week. You know, it was just so much, you know, crazy stuff, you know, were going on in wrestling, and I just was like, you know what? And then also it was the holidays and stuff, so I just wanted to, just take a break, man. Just don't overwhelm with different, just wrestling though. Speaking of the holidays, how was your Thanksgiving? Do anything special?
Thanksgiving was great. That's, obviously I wish my family was intact. Obviously my parents were divorced at a very young age, but you know what that means? That means I get 2 Thanksgivings. So I had a good time.
That's good.
Yeah, I had, I'm a big stuffing guy, of course. So that's like my go-to. Not so much into turkey. I mean, obviously I'll eat it, but yeah, I got to have that stuffing, the mashed potatoes. I'm all about the bad stuff on Thanksgiving.
Okay, that's good.
Pies.
So you got 2 places to get 2 plates, huh?
Oh yeah, 2 plates though. I may need more than that, but yeah.
Hey, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I hope you definitely, your family and yours, man, enjoyed the holidays. With the New Year's coming up, any New Year's resolutions you got planned, or you definitely gonna keep it the same?
Some New Year's resolutions. I normally don't do resolutions. I'll be honest.
Okay.
But obviously, there's goals, and I wouldn't necessarily tie it to the new year, but obviously, like to kind of trim down my figure a little bit. Obviously, if you see me wrestle before, you see me wearing the singlet.
Yeah.
And I would, one day, I would really love to have the confidence. Well, I wouldn't say confidence. I would really love to be able to wear trunks or something that I could show off my upper body.
Okay.
I'm not like huge or anything, but I don't think it's ideal for me to wear trunks right now. So obviously, getting into a better physique, although I don't think it's necessarily the most important thing nowadays. At the same time, it definitely gives you the edge, to kind of stand out from some people. So I definitely would like to, change up the physique. That's kind of my goal as far as a New Year's resolution would go.
Okay. Cool, man. I dig it, man. Are you confident in the ring though?
Confident in the ring, absolutely. It took me a while, and sometimes I still get a little fidgety. You can ask anybody who knows me; they'll tell you how anxious I might get before a match, but that's only because I want to be the best.
Yes,
be the best that I can be.
Yes,
I know I'm confident in what I do. It's just a matter of performing.
Yeah, most definitely, man. They always say if you're not nervous or you don't have a little butterflies going in your stomach that you're not ready or you're excited about it. So
yeah, I've heard that. I fully agree.
Yeah. What was some talent that you would like to work with in the future?
Talent that I would like to work with in the future. I would love to run it back again with To Infinity and Beyond. I think me and Chuck Stone had wrestled him twice. The first time I got hurt, so that first match it happened and it was fine, but it didn't really go the way we had planned. And this last one we had a great story, a great upset win. I'd love to have the rubber match with those guys. But I'd like to work with the Jollyville Fuckets or the boys from Jollyville, depending on if it's a family-friendly show or not. Really love to work with those guys. Levi Everett, a lot of character-based guys. There's a lot of people I'd like to work with. There's so many I can think of on the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously some guys in WWE I wish I could scrap with, but it's kind of impossible. Like Cesaro, kind of one of my inspirations in wrestling, I guess you could say. Claudio Castagnoli, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, that's real dope, man. That's real dope. Cesaro is a big name on the list, man. I can definitely see that coming. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on Talk Pro Wrestling. You guys, man, last week in wrestling was a big story that was going around, and that something that took place on WWE. And Arthur, I wanted to get your opinions and thoughts on it. If you've seen or heard the fan that attacked Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I saw that, and it was, at first I thought it was pretty funny, just whatever, but truth be told, that's a scary situation, because you don't know what these fans are capable of. You don't know if they snuck in a knife or a shiv in the, because the security can only do you so well.
Yeah.
And obviously, based on what he said after, saying that he had done it for Roman Reigns and he was told to do it, blah, blah, he's clearly not mentally well.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you that you really have to watch out for yourself. And for you fans who get overexcited or get angry at the heels in a show, just stay behind the barricade. There's a reason that's there, because some of these guys are pretty, like, look at someone like Filthy Tom Lawler. I mean, he's a trained MMA fighter. Do you really think you stand a chance versus some of these guys who work out day in, day out, highly trained, some with legitimate MMA backgrounds too? It's just not worth it. And plus, a lot of these wrestlers would really, really love the opportunity to deck someone if they had the chance. So it's not worth it.
Yeah. It definitely isn't, and hearing the whole story about it, that how, of course, how he did it for Roman Reigns and how he got scammed and, so much. I was on a podcast a couple of weeks ago and we was having so much debate, just about, how wrestlers, would love to, deck a fan. But obviously, with WWE, you don't want the lawsuits and stuff like that. But I think it's, never that serious regardless of the storyline, or if the guy's being a dick, he shouldn't jump the barricade to try to assault the wrestler.
Yeah, like a lot of the guys don't need that. Most wrestlers, especially me, assume that everyone watching respects the story, respects everything, and isn't going to physically assault us. You could make the argument that maybe you've got great heat if they're trying to go after you, but at the same time, it's not necessary. Back in the old days, I'm sure I've heard stories. Heck, Jake the Snake was shot at once.
Yeah.
So it's just not worth it. Stay behind the barricade, enjoy yourself, but stay there.
Yeah, definitely. As a worker though, do you prefer to be a face or work as a heel?
That really does depend. As a heel, you can kind of do whatever you want per se, and you get to have a little more fun, with the fans per se. And it's, I wouldn't say it's hard, but yeah, as a heel, you have a little more freedom. You aren't limited to. And while you're a babyface, you're kind of limited as to what you can actually do and say without looking like a jerk or whatnot. But as a babyface, it always does feel good to be cheered and whatnot, and to have a crowd behind like legitimately. So I guess there's always that.
Yeah, definitely that though. But if you were, definitely be a heel, because I always hear that, the stories of being a heel. It's definitely fun. You ain't gotta, smile per se or do as much as a baby face though. But as we were talking about, heels and fans attacking, wrestlers. If you were a heel, would you want that type of heat? As a fan trying to, sort of get to you. Obviously you're doing your job, good enough, but what's the limit?
Would I love the heat? Absolutely. Would I want it to happen? Absolutely not. Like I told you, like there's some people who would just love the chance to get a deck of fan. I don't want to do that because, first off, like I said, I don't know who these people are. Like they could be legitimately dangerous, and that's just a whole situation. Obviously, if it escalates, the police might get involved, and you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to be going to trial or nothing like that. I seen I don't know if you saw, it made the rounds on Twitter. Somebody I know, Graham Bell, had an incident with a fan down in Chattanooga. He was being a heel. Mind you, Graham Bell had a stack of light tubes in his hands, and this fan starts choking him and whatnot. Then, to defend himself, he smacks him with the tubes. And at the same time, this fan tried to press charges saying he was attacked with tubes. Obviously, his complaint was voided and whatnot. I'm pretty sure Graham's okay, but, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, you got some fans who just, go overboard and take it a little too far, man. It's really never that serious. We want everybody to be safe, man, for real. Enjoy themselves exactly. At the event, man, for real. But you guys, man, we're going to move on here on and talk pro wrestling. Arthur McArthur, definitely appreciate you and your time, man, for joining me on the podcast. What are you most, no problem. What are you most proud of?
Most proud of? I guess, honestly, that is to be the most proud of. I'm just proud to be in my dream business, because there's a lot of guys who I can name so many people who have come through the school or other schools, wherever, who think that they can make it into pro wrestling, and it's hard. It's very hard to get into, not only physically but mentally. There's so much that goes into it, and people just assume because it's not a legitimate competition that, anyone can do it. Honestly, no, you can't. Because even if you get the physical part down, how you get, can you get the fans behind you? Can you tell a good story in the ring? There's, like I said, there's so much that goes into it. So honestly, the fact that I was able to accomplish all this and be a professional at what I do makes me proud every day, man.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. A lot of people think they can do it, man, but it's a whole lot of more psychological goes in. Yeah, a whole lot of psychological game goes into it more than people would know, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Are you into sports or anything?
I do love me some sports. I'm from Cleveland, so I do like me some Cavs, the Indians, well now the Guardians, Cleveland Browns. Kind of trying to get over that last game they had, but I do love my Cleveland sports, and obviously I'll root for Ohio State as well, but I think their season's pretty much in the water after that upset against Michigan.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely interested in seeing what the Browns do. Especially, I love the turnaround that they had last year when
that was a great season.
They went all the way for a while, so that's really cool. Who you think gonna wind up in the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. It's a little early to tell. The AFC is so it's like a no man's land right now. Like, it's crazy. The Browns are now 6-6, and we honestly still have a chance. Honestly, we're still in the running for the playoffs, so I really couldn't tell you who's going to make the playoffs. I don't think the Rams are. I think the Cardinals have a really good chance of making it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Or the Packers. It'll come down to the Cardinals and the Packers in the NFC, in my opinion.
Okay.
As far as the AFC, I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm interested to see what goes on. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, so we definitely play the Browns a couple of times in the season. So that's always some good matchup, though. But man, Arthur, man, what's next for Arthur McArthur, man, in the wrestling business or in general, man?
What's next? Well, I don't know if I'm doing anything this weekend or the next, but I know obviously we have the next AIW show planned. It's called. It's a reference to a Home Alone thing. It's we had a few hits a few years ago with the return of Ethan Page in Cleveland, Ohio. We got that going on. Let me see. I don't know if it takes me away here. Debuting for a new company, Hybrid Championship Wrestling out in Terre Haute, Indiana. I've got a bunch of debuts lined up for 2022. Obviously AEW is coming to Cleveland. I'm gonna see if I can possibly get it on Dark, because I've been an extra for AEW a couple times, like nearby. I haven't gotten a match yet, but I think that's always a possibility. I got some good promo pictures from them. There's just, with everything opening back up, and I feel like there's more debuts on the way for 2022 with me. So just stay posted.
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking for everything you got going on with Absolute Intense Wrestling and Ruthless Pro Wrestling and everything, man, for real. Keep at it, man. Keep inspired. Keep just being uplifted, man. I thank you for joining me this week here on the 1130 podcast. But before you go, Arthur McArthur, any questions, anything you'd like to say? Shout out.
Anything I'd like to say? Well, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can go ahead and do that. Strong McArthur. Arthur McArthur was taken. I got Instagram, Arthur2_ McArthur. I do have a Facebook profile. I don't really check the actual page. I just I have a profile. I'll add fans. Pretty sure that's how you found me. I've got stores, Brainbuster tees, pro wrestling tees. I have a big cartel. I've got plenty of merch that can go out to anyone who wants it. That's pretty much it, man. And shout out to you for having me on. I appreciate it. And for all the listeners out there, I hope you learned a little about me, and hopefully you guys watch a little more of me in the future.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I wish you nothing but the best, man, and hope you reach the heights you want to reach, man. And thank you, Arthur McArthur, man. Keep doing your thing. And I appreciate you joining me this week here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling.
For sure, man. You have a good one now.
All right. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate it a lot, my guy. Appreciate it so much. I thank you, man, for being here on the podcast. As I said earlier in the show, I took a break off, man. It was just so much that was going on in wrestling in general. I was just like, man, I don't even want to talk about it. And actually, in the past, week or two, wasn't really too much exciting that, really happened. Besides it was a bunch of releases that took place, and I was just like, man, like, here we go again. Here we go again with the WWE releases. But Survivor Series, man, it was just, it was what it was, man. It was just no, potential, storyline to come out of that, I guess, besides the Cleopatra egg that I guess got stolen from Vince McMahon's office. The egg was heavily featured in, The Rock's new movie, Red Notice, that's out on Netflix. Cool movie and all that, And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. At first, I was like, what the hell is that? And then I started thinking more about it. I was like, okay, Rocky definitely gonna be here. They celebrating this 25th anniversary, right? It clearly makes sense. But no, you don't get no Rock, after Roman Reigns destroyed Big E, you don't get nothing. And I find that to be weird. And Vince McMahon saying, yo, you know what? The next night, we're going to find out who did it, and whoever did it, going to get a championship opportunity against Big E, and Austin Theory. Now, kudos to Austin Theory. Shout out to my guy, Warren Marlowe. He was talking on, how he wrestled with him or, known him over, in the indies, stuff like that, and how Austin Theory is a big WWE guy, man. He got the whole future ahead of him, and a lot of people are dubbing him the new Randy Orton and stuff like that, and that's cool. We need some new stars, for real, because Raw doesn't really have that many, star power that's, attracting, at least me, I'm speaking for myself, that, to tune in each and every week, though. But, nonetheless, man, Austin Theory it is, and like I said, I wish the best for him, but, and he had that championship opportunity. So, I guess they grooming him and, protecting him to be, a top guy in the business per se. So, other than that, SmackDown has been doing, SmackDown. SmackDown being great. Brock Lesnar is back. So, hey, NXT, I don't really know. AEW has been doing the damn thing. A lot of people were talking about the biggest promo, I guess, that's been going around, the biggest promo in wrestling in a while, though. The biggest promo that wasn't even in WWE featured a whole lot of WWE reference, though. I think that was the wildest thing. The wildest thing in the last 20 years, besides CM Punk, last 15 or so. CM Punk pipe bomb promo was the promo, right? And, fast forward to last week where we get MJF and CM Punk, man, the whole war words, I was just loving it. When Punk was telling MJF, man, if Tony Khan stick around, here a little longer or whatever, you'll be married to his daughter, it's just so much though. But hey, you know what? What a time to be alive, man, as a wrestling fan though, for real. But it's been an amazing show, you guys, man. I'm back at it here each and every Friday for Talk Pro Wrestling. So join me, you guys, next Friday for some Talk Pro Wrestling, man. For real, we're going to keep at it. And, shout out to my guys at the commission, man. We had a heated discussion on my guy Warren Marlowe, Buzzing on Marlowe podcast about, the whole topic where I was talking to my guy Arthur McArthur about with the fan, jumping in the ring. You don't know if that guy had a knife. Anything, you don't even know. It's a really dangerous situation, and I, asked my guy, would you want to be a heel that gravitated that type of heat, and back in the days, and I even had a guy named Brian who was on the podcast a couple of months ago also, just talking about how back in the days, man, heels brought in major heat, man, where they thought, man, what? Like, you feel me? Like the Jake the Snake incident, people, shooting at him. Like, man, oh man. Like, I don't know, but like I said, that was a heated discussion, man. I don't think it's never that serious to jump over the barricade, man, and attack the wrestler, man. For real. But you guys, man, it's been another banger. It's been another great one, you guys, man. Before I go, you know what time it is, man. Don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow the 1130 podcast on Twitter and Instagram at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Yes, like it on Facebook, man. And subscribe. Yes, subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube. Yes, man. Tell a friend, tell a coworker, tell your mama, tell your daddy. If they don't even know already, tell them about the 1130 podcast. I appreciate it so much. And also, you guys hit the link in the description on YouTube, and also head over to the 1130 podcast Instagram page and get you some merch, man. For real, it's the holiday season. Last Friday was Black Friday, but this past Monday was Cyber Monday. Support black business, support independent wrestling, support everything, man. Support your local business, man. For real. It's real vital, man, especially in these times, man. Also, you guys, man, if you'd like to be a guest here on the podcast, email me. That's the 1130 podcast, or just DM me on social media so we can work, man. I dig it, for real. And also, you guys, tune in this Wednesday to the 1130 podcast on EB Radio and YouTube at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other than that, man, I'm about to head on out of here. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, man, and stay blessed, stay safe, and enjoy your holidays, man. I'll see you guys next week here on the podcast. And yo, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. And I'm out.